Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. I have a special presentation for you today that I think you're going to find just terrific. It's about 8:30 a.m. Central Time. It's 81 degrees. I could not sleep last night, so I figured I'd get an early start with today's presentation and some items of interest as usual. In 1819, American writer Herman Melville was born. And of course, Herman was responsible for he was an American poet and writer, and he's the one who wrote Moby Dick. He was born in New York City to a wealthy merchant, but the company fell on hard times and went out of business, and he fled the family and joined the Merchant Marine, and that's where he got all his stories and his ideas for all his books. Most of his literature was based on sea. He was on Merchant Marine ships, and then he was on a whaler as well back in the day, and he jumped ship, and I forget where he jumped ship, but he jumped ship and wrote his first novel, and that's what started him on his way. Herman Melville. He was born today in 1819, and he wrote Moby Dick. I do have my vaccination. I don't leave home without it. I suggest you do the same. It's getting dicey out there once again. In 1876, the state of Colorado, the 38th state to be admitted to the Union, was Colorado, the Centennial State. And the reason they call it the Centennial State, it was 100 years or so after the United States was born. Just around that time, they were celebrating the centennial of the country, and that's exactly around the time that Colorado was admitted to the Union. So our hats are off to Colorado. Colorado is a unique state. It borders the Four Corners. You've heard of the Four Corners. That's New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, and they call that the Four Corners. The capital, of course, is Denver. It's got almost 5,800,000 residents, but that number is probably much higher now with the amount of Americans that are moving about the country for various reasons because of COVID-19 and what have you. It's the 21st most populated place in America. The median household income is $69,117, but some of these figures, it's the 8th largest state in the Union, the 8th largest state. It has 104,094 square miles, Colorado does, and it's a very popular destination for people who like the outdoors. There's all year round activities, mountain biking, climbing, hiking, fishing, you name it, Colorado has it. And of course, the winter, you have your skiing. So it's quite a state. I haven't talked to anybody that was unhappy with living in Colorado. So our hats are off to Colorado, becoming the 38th state in the Union in 1876. In 1936, the Berlin Olympics opened up, and this was a very controversial Olympics. This was when the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler was in charge, and originally the Nazi Party wanted to ban all Jews and black people from competing in the 1936 Summer Games in Berlin. But the backlash and the threat of boycotts by many nations, they backed down. They also cleaned up their downtown and their tourist areas where the people would be coming, and took down all the signs that said no Jews or no blacks. And this was part of the Nazi Party's trying to accomplish an Aryan race. And we know what happened with that aspiration. But it was a time that Hitler thought he was going to show his superiority with his Aryan race and his athletes, and Jesse Owens blew that right out of the water. Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals, and in the sprint and the long jump, and Jackie Robinson's brother Mac won a silver just behind Jesse Owens, 0.4 second behind Jesse Owens. So the medal count was Germany got 89 medals of various stages, and the United States got 56 in 1936 at the Berlin Games. So right over always triumphs over wrong, and this is a great case in that. In 1981, a little bit lighter subject, 1981 MTV debuted, and the video that debuted on MTV in 1981 was the video that killed the radio star, and this was performed by the Buggles, Buggles. Never heard of them. Then in 1987, Mike Tyson accomplished something that's very difficult to do. He became the unanimous heavyweight champion of the world in all 3 governing bodies of boxing: the World Boxing Council, the World Boxing Association, and the International Boxing Federation. So that's not easy to do, because each body has its own rules. Sometimes there's controversies. Sometimes there's things that the other bodies don't agree with. They won't recognize a fighter. They won't give a fighter a chance in that body. They won't qualify a fighter. They won't give rematches. They won't. So boxing has always been kind of convoluted. It wasn't always like that. Boxing in the beginning stages of boxing was very on the uppity up, so to speak, but that's not true either. I want to walk that back. Maybe boxing was never on the uppity up, but our hats are off to Mike Tyson for he beat who did he beat? He beat Tony Tucker, and that was that. So those are some of the things that jumped out at me. I think this video might be a long one, so I just want to warn you for that. And the other item that popped out of me, and I just couldn't resist since my location here in Austin, Texas, is 55 years ago today, we had the terrible clock tower mass shooting. And I'm not even going to mention his name, but I guess I should. Charles Whitman. He killed his mom with a knife, and then he killed his wife with a knife, and then he came here to the University of Texas, and he killed 2 people inside the ground floor, apparently, of the tower, and then he went on top to the 28th floor, and he began his shooting rampage. I'm not really that schooled on firearms, but he had all the usual suspects. He had shotguns, he had a Glout, a Golt, or whatever they call it. He had a Magnum, a .357 Magnum. He had an AR. He had, you'll have to Google it for yourself, for you gun enthusiasts. But and he did some terrible damage. He killed 14 people. One of them was an unborn baby, and he wounded 31. And he was up there for I think 96 minutes on the 28th floor. He was killed by police, and 35 years later, another victim of the shooting died as a result of the injuries that they incurred on that terrible day, 55 years ago today. He left suicide notes. He didn't quite know why he was doing it. He did it thinking that his mother and his wife would be better off in heaven. He requested an autopsy, and they found a little tumor in his brain, but the doctors didn't say that had any bearing or any cause for what he did. He was an ex-Marine. He had a gambling problem. He had some violence problems. His wife fled because of the abuse. They're originally from Florida, which is kind of strange because, believe it or not, it seems that a lot of mass murderers or serial killers come from the state of Florida. I don't know quite why that is, but it's just, it happens too much where the state of Florida. So they fled the state of Florida and they moved to Austin, where this terrible crime happened in 1966. So while I'm here, I'm going to give you a beautiful tour of this beautiful, beautiful campus, the University of Texas in Austin, and I think you'll enjoy it as much as I did, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I am going to enjoy showing you. It's just a beautiful, beautiful campus, and I'm excited. I'm going to retract my tripod. So I'll be able to give you the best frames and the best view of this beautiful, beautiful college. And I should put my glasses on so I can give the best views possible. I'm at 12 minutes, so this is going to be at least a half an hour or more. I've got my seat. Okay, let's spin around first of all and give you one of the nicest views that you're going to see. The Texas state capitol. Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful day. Like I said, I couldn't sleep. I figured I'd just get out of that bed, get a head start, and I'm glad I did, because it's nice and cool. Even though I am perspiring, it's cool now in the morning hours. It's about almost 20 minutes to 9 a.m. So let's start the tour. I'll take this off right away because I don't want to forget it. Now look at these old oak trees. Old growth oak trees. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to show you the whole campus, but I will show you the walk back to my vehicle, and that will give you an idea of just how beautiful. I've been told this institution, this university, is loaded. And as you see, here's a beautiful statue of the George Washington. And these statues of famous people who have done great things for the nation are everywhere on this campus, as in addition to sculpture. There's some sculpture at the bottom there. Let me see if I can zoom in on that while I'm here. Can you see that little sculpture at the bottom? It looks like two birds. And of course the Capitol. Okay, let's move out. And here is the clock tower. It's nice and quiet now. It's good to get an early start. This is the clock tower where the mass shooting took place. And he went up to the top there on the deck. 28th floor, and he just, it's a beautiful building, and he just started to do what deranged people do. And I guess, unfortunately, let's see what this plaque says over here. Look at these steps. The whole campus is these heavy Roman-type steps everywhere. And you can get an idea. Here it is, the University of Texas, Austin. And you can just see what a large campus it is. So I will not be able to show you the whole campus. But I certainly will show you what I can. So this is the main plaza here, and there's the clock tower. I'm gonna be juggling this with, let me see if I can get on the clock. No, it's just, can't. I need a different lens to get it closer to this and see what the clock says. Look at the size of the trunks on those trees over there. And over here. There's some bleachers here, so they probably have some type of ceremonies. Look at the grounds, just immaculate horticulture. Trees. There's the building. "66 years. Look at these beautiful trees. God, they give great shade, don't they? They just span out. And one of these trees, I guess, is what put the governor in a wheelchair. Governor Abbott, the current governor of the state of Texas, as a young man, or maybe not so. I'm not sure the age when the accident happened. But the word that I found, here's Garrison Hall. He was jogging and a limb broke off a tree and paralyzed him, I guess, from the waist down, and that's why he's in a wheelchair. Look at these beautiful trees. Look at the root base on these trees. Just like a giant bonsai. Just beautiful. A lot of people out this morning are in running clubs. They meet and they jog. And we'll just meander out. Good morning. We'll just Miranda. Here's another shot of the tower. Just a beautiful. Everything in Texas looks brand new. I think it's the stone they use. Look at this building over here. Just beautiful. Just bring money. Somebody was telling me it's just the amount of money these college institutions have in the bank or in reserve is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is like a little cactus motif right here. Some more trees. And we'll just follow it down. And you'll see for yourself what a beautiful campus this is. Now, it's a university, so I guess it costs a pretty penny to come here. I don't know too much about colleges. I joined the Air Force. But this could be the equivalent of like a USC in Southern California, maybe. Look at these nice trees. And again, the steps, all the steps. Look at the steps. It just reeks of prestige and tradition and power and money. Look at these wonderful manicured trees. Now, what does this say over here? It says, "Do not touch." Let's see what these are. This is a piece of artwork, 1947, by Donald Lipsky. American-born, 1947. The West, 1987. Painted steel, corroded copper pennies, and silicone adhesive. Oh, I see the pennies on there. Can you see the pennies? So this is somebody's idea of artwork. So probably a private person probably bought this and then donated it to the college. Or the college could have bought it. Who knows? Again, some beautiful, I just love these. I love Texas for the, all Texas needs is a coast. All Texas needs is a coast, like a beach, like a big ocean. And you wouldn't be able to beat it with a stick. But it's smack dab in the middle of the United States of America. And it can get quite hot. So we're gonna leave here. We're gonna continue to my vehicle. Now this is all blocked off by cars. I had to walk in. As close as I could get, you can see where my vehicle is from the tower. It's a restricted area. And you know, they don't, you gotta be authorized. They have, okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I just laid there, and before you know it, you start hearing the birds chirping, and the sun's coming up, the room is getting lit, and you say, you know what? It's another day. It's August 1st, beginning of a new slate, a fresh start, a do-over, if you will, a new month. July is in the history books. Look at these beautiful plazas. There's been recent controversies with educators and people being denied tenure that usually don't get denied tenure. Kanye West, that black fella, he left, I think, Harvard because unfortunately, Paula, look at this beautiful. Let me put this down and get you a nice shot of this. Isn't that something? Does that reek of education and money? God. How comfortable would you feel as a parent knowing that your son or daughter was attending an institution of this magnitude? Let me spin it around for you. And it goes all the way this way as well. Good morning. Oh, geez, there's my bag. I'm gonna carry my bag and my stool. So we'll press on. Let me take it off the close-up. So there's been some controversies. Evidently, politics is playing. People that go to colleges and donate a lot of money. If you give a lot of money to a college that perhaps you went to or attended, they're gonna name a building after you. They also have a lot of say on what happens with the professors and the people that teach there. And this is the case with these, you know, somebody makes a phone call to somebody in Washington, and somebody calls the president of the college, and heads start to roll. People get denied tenure. People have to leave. And it's just a black eye on the whole system, you know. You know, if somebody's an educator and a professional in their own field, but you don't agree with what they're saying or doing, and you remove them, you're only hurting the institution at large. I think if I had a daughter or a son and I had the money to send them to an institution that was their policy to silence or to somehow neglect talent, I would pick another institution. But I guess it's happening all over. America is just completely See, this is Bernard and Audrey Rappaport building. So Bernard and Audrey must have dropped some real heavy change. Bring money. Bring money. And this is another beautiful plaza. Look at this. So I'm only going to be able to show you a little bit. You saw the signboard there. It's much larger than what I'm going to be able to show you today. But everything in Texas, it must be the stone they use. Everything looks brand new. The VA looked brand new. Oh, the VA was great the other day. I went to get some blood drawn. And I picked the number out of the machine. I think it was 215. And before I could even sit down, they called 215. Here's a nice little plaza. Went in there, no waiting. And they did a good thing at the VA in Austin. They took my blood and urine before my appointment for my physical, so that when I go see the doctor, he'll already have this is the Student Activity Center. How do you like that? They'll already have the results of my blood work, which is great. Usually in LA, you went there and saw the doctor, then you went and got blood work, and then they had to call you on the phone, tell you you had a couple hours to live. This is Martin Luther King here. Another important person. You know, people can't separate things, you know. There's some talk that he was, you know, a womanizer or what have you. Or not a womanizer so to the extent, but, well, you know, that's his business. That's private. You don't muddy the waters. Good morning. You don't look at the stone. See the stone? Everything looks brand new. You don't muddy the waters in a person's personal life. To the extent, you know, how many good politicians are thrown to the side because of nonsense, you know. This is the Jackson School of Geosciences. Geosciences. I'm not even going to try to show how ignorant I am and try to figure out what they're going to be studying inside there. What is geo? Geo would be, geo could be a lot of darn things. Geomathematics, geosciences, geospace, why don't they just tell us what they're doing? Well, that's geosciences. I should ask those people over there. But that's what college is all about. Using real heavy-duty nomenclature. That's right. You can't just say things simply, especially when you're paying all this money. Now there's the stadium. You think this college has money? This is where the football team plays. The University of Texas football team. It holds up over 100,000. And you can find out exactly how many people it holds, if you wish. It looks like a professional sports stadium, but this is a college. Okay, we're gonna come down here and meander our way around. This is a water feature that's not in service right now. It needs to be refurbished, perhaps. Some more beautiful trees. I hope this is okay. I hope I'm not shaking it. Now, I haven't been molested yet, and I hope I'm not going to be. But security today in America is no joke. If a representative from a security outfit of any kind sees somebody doing what I'm doing, they'd be negligent not to want to know who I am and what I'm doing. That's just the way it is. At airports, they prohibit you from taking photographs at airports, bus terminals. You can get into some serious problems if you get introduced to the wrong security personnel. But they have to ask questions, and that's what they call, that's the whole idea of security. They're not going out of their way to harass you and molest you and give you a hard time. They're covering their butt. They cannot sit back. There's Patton Hall. Look how modern that building is. That's Patton Hall. And there's the top of the tower. And now we're gonna come down and just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Babbling Brook. I wanted to show you some other things while I'm here. It's 31 minutes. It's quite an interesting sculpture down there. That's the Visual Arts Center. And here is the stadium. This is the beautiful. I guess there were two security guards. I guess they think everything's gonna be okay. So this is the Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. Holy cow, look at the size of this structure. Let me zoom in on you. You can see who it is. Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. And it is a giant. Just a giant. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna lean over and pick up my bag. So, I'll just walk down here and finish this video up. I don't want to make it too long. It's already a half hour. Now, who is this gentleman? This looks like a musician here. That's a trumpet. Oh, this is the gentleman who founded the band. Celebrating 100 years of proud musical tradition, this sculpture is dedicated to all Longhorn band members, past, present, and future. Their spirit inspires us all. And I guess this is Eugene P. Scroach. Yeah, one time I was up in Berkeley, California when I lived in Northern California, and I went with a friend to the Berkeley Bears game, the Berkeley Bears against the USC. And I will tell you, I know this is gonna sound nutty to sports fans, but I enjoyed that USC band. Is just unbelievable. If you listen to Fleetwood Mac, they got a song that they incorporate the band. I'm not gonna try to remember what it is. Look at the size of this stadium. Can you believe this? This is a university. No wonder it costs so much to go to a college. Anyway, they incorporate the band. These are the teardrop. This is what they use. They shoot the cannon when they score a touchdown, I guess. Look at all this interesting architecture. Just bring money. Just bring money. So Fleetwood Mac incorporates, I think, the USC band or a marching band like that, and they just went nuts. I mean, you know, until you've heard a marching band of the magnitude of USC, I mean, it was just, and it's loud, and it's the drums, and the, oh my God, look at this guy over here, huh? I don't know if I'm gonna go horse riding. You can read that one for yourself. You can read that one for yourself. You can freeze it. It's a nice horse, huh? Horses are beautiful. And hello, good morning. Are you college students here?
Yeah, she's about to be.
Can you tell us a little about the stadium if you want?
One of the biggest in the country.
Right.
That's about all I know about it.
How long have you been studying here?
I just finished my 4th year, about to do my last semester.
Unbelievable. This is I'm a tourist, and this is just a beautiful campus. I mean, I'm just taken aback.
It's pretty awesome.
What did you major in, if you don't mind?
Exercise science.
Exercise science.
Most of my classes are right here.
And this is where the Longhorns play?
Yes, sir.
And what does geoscience mean? I saw a building, but I don't know. Geosciences?
Like something with like oiling, like something you can do stuff with oiling and stuff.
Oh, oil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, geo is earth. That's right. Yeah. I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Congratulations. You're going to graduate, huh?
About to be.
Wow. What an accomplishment. Thank you. Wow. So, yeah, geo, oil. That's right. Oil exploration. I should have known that. I bet a lot of you guys watching this knew that. Now, here's a real longhorn for you right here. I'm about to finish up this video. But, there's my car across the street. So you can see how far I had to walk approximately to get to the base of the tower. God, look at the size of that. Those horns can be bred out, I believe. There's some longhorns still out there, and you'll see them. But I think they can genetically, for obvious reasons, eliminate those horns. I think that's what they do. Look at these trees. The trees could talk. This is the Alumni Center. Now, alumni, for people that don't know, and I don't know that much about it myself, are people that went to this institution, and they have some pull, I tell you. You know, they just don't go to college and forget about their college. It's like the biggest thing in their life. They have license plates, and they have stickers on the back of their cars, and their alumni, and there's meetings and functions and conventions and donations, and it just goes on and on and on. Nice sculpture, huh? It just goes on. Look at all these. I think I'll finish up over here. What a beautiful alumni center. And the donors. And it's just like, it's really, it's something else. It's something else. It's not like the Air Force. It's a whole new animal. You get into a certain school of peer groups or into adulthood, and that's the first thing they're going to ask you. What college did you go to? What university did you go to? My sister was very intelligent, but she didn't go to college. She didn't need it. And they kept asking her, my sister Bobby Ann, what college she went to, and she had to kind of, whatever she did. But she didn't, you know, some people are naturally intelligent, and Bobby Ann was certainly one of those people. But that's the first thing. Here's a little crook here. Okay, I'm gonna recap this I'm gonna recap this for us. I hope you can see this. So recapping, I hope you enjoyed this tour of the Texas University. I got more notes, I'll tell you. University of Texas. Okay, 1819, Herman Melvin wrote Moby Dick. He was born on this date in 1819, Moby Dick, and he wrote that in 1851. He died at the age of 72. So for someone who was born in the 1800s to live to 72, he must have really took care of himself. That's quite an accomplishment back then to live that long. 1876, our hats are off to Colorado for becoming the 38th state in the Union, the Centennial State. Our hats are off to Colorado. And 1936, the Summer Olympics opened in Berlin, and the Nazi Party and Adolf Hitler were disseminated with the likes of Jesse Owens and Mac Robertson. And in 1981, MTV debuted with a video Killed the Radio Star by the Bungles or the Boogles. Never heard of them. And in 1987, our hats are off to the prize fighter Mike Tyson for unanimously being named the heavyweight champion of the world and all the bodies, governing bodies of the sport. So our hats are off to Mike Tyson. And unfortunately, a very remorse 1966, the Clock Tower, University of Texas, and Charles Whitman, and the terror and horror that he rained down on innocent lives 55 years ago today. So have a great day. It's the first day of August 2021. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your friends and your family and your pets. Stay dry, stay cool, and remember, don't waste the time that doesn't have to be wasted. Well, what the heck does that mean? Don't waste the time that doesn't have to be wasted. I mean, speak English. You're on a college campus. Can you act a little bit like you're educated?